What is going on, YouTube? Coming back today with my next top 10. So, yesterday I did my top 10 most hated athletes in sports, and today I am doing the top 10 Kobe teammates of all time. So, again, like I said at the beginning of this series, I wanted to do, I want to do some topics that are relevant to right now, and with Kobe's career drawing to an end in about 2 weeks, crazy to think. I thought this would be a good topic to do. It's one that's actually been kind of talked about a little bit by some big basketball fans, especially some big Laker fans, some big Kobe fans as well. So go ahead and start at number 10. I'm not really going to do any honorable mentions for this, but I've got Glen Rice. So Glen Rice was on the Lakers for really only the beginning of Kobe's career. At least he was only good with the Lakers for the beginning part of Kobe's career. He was on the downfall he was kind of on the downfall out of his prime. I believe he won one championship with the Lakers, and he did have a little bit of talent left by the time he reached the Lakers, and one of the better three-point shooters they've had on some of their championship team dating back to the late 90s. But I think the biggest thing for him was just the playoff experience, the leadership that he brought to the table for the Lakers that I wouldn't say wasn't there, but something they could definitely use at the time. So at number 9, I've got the former Ron Artest, now Meta World Peace. So he played with Kobe for, what was it? I want to say 4 years. And he joined the Lakers in 2009, ended up averaging not very good. Well, I actually didn't have really good averages at all his last few seasons with the Lakers. And I think for him it was just bringing that experience and just the name, adding a little bit of depth to the Lakers at the time, and actually was incredibly clutch in the 2010 playoff run, kind of putting down the Suns in that Game 7 before they reached the finals. So at number 8, I've got Eddie Jones. So I like Eddie Jones. I always like what he brought to the table for the Lakers. I was younger when he was around, but I think he was only with Kobe for 3 seasons, and was one of the best six men they ever had. Now, I don't remember if he was able to get a championship with the Lakers. That's something that I have to look up. Let's see here. But, okay, I really don't know. He was... don't think he was able to, no. He was part of the Lakers team with Kobe in Kobe's early years, late 90s, like I said. Kobe coming into the league in, I believe, 97. And, again, Eddie Jones was able to help Kobe vastly in his experience, both of them playing at the shooting guard position. And I believe Eddie Jones was traded away to the Hornets after 3 seasons with the Lakers. So at number 7, I got Rick Fox. And he was part of the Kobe team with Shaquille O'Neal, winning a couple championships with that squad, playing, I believe, at the power forward position. Just added another threat to what was an incredibly good front court. I don't know if it's ever been replicated since for the Lakers. And he was able to get 3 titles with Kobe, Shaq, and the Lakers in the early 2000s. So really when Kobe was starting to come into his own and the beginning of his prime. So at number 6, I've got the now what seems like homeless Lamar Odom. So Lamar Odom has obviously had an up and down life up until this point. The guy who was found out unconscious at, I believe, at brothel, whorehouse, whatever you want to call it. And he was a great player for the Lakers. I think that he was one of the most underrated parts of the Lakers teams throughout the entirety of the 2000s, and averaged about 14 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. And I believe he won one or two championships with the Lakers. Again, not something that I am extremely familiar with. He, to me, was someone, again, who was one of the more underrated parts. I don't think that people really realize how much he did for those teams. Again, really gets lost in the Shaqs, Pau Gasols, and Kobe's of the world when they bring home that many rings. And he was able to play really any position from the 2 to the 4 spot. And again, a really versatile, underrated guy the Lakers had for quite a while. So at number 5, I've got big shot Robert Horry. So again, another extremely important power forward to the Lakers' success. Again, another guy that was able to win 3 titles with the Lakers in the early 2000s. And it was just another guy that brought clutch performances, leadership to the team. At that point, he was in the latter half of his career, near retirement, and again, kind of brought the same thing that Rick Fox was able to bring. Same thing with Glen Rice to the team. Talent, depth, nonetheless, but definitely not in the prime of their careers with Kobe. So at number 4, I've got a player who just bottomed out after his prime with Kobe for a couple years, and that is Andrew Bynum. So Bynum is a guy that I really like watching from back in the day. I think I really appreciate good fundamental post moves. I think I mentioned that before in a lot of videos. And I think the importance of him is more in the eye of the beholder to the Lakers championship squads. There's no doubt he was one of the best young centers in the league with Kobe back in the early 2000s, and just kind of bottomed out after. And the knees just gave out. But while he was healthy, like I said, throughout the early mid-2000s, was able to put up about 11 points per game, 8 rebounds, and for a little while seemed like he'd be one of the best centers in the NBA for the better part of the 2000s. And just like I said, unhealthy, and then just was never really able to get his knees back under him. Kind of not the same career course, but a lot of what happened to Amari Stoudemire. So at number 3, I've got the now Knicks coach, Derek Fisher. So obviously Derek Fisher was a quality player for a long time. Ended up finishing his career, I believe, with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it was just, he was so clutch. And was he with? And yeah, I think he was on every single one of Kobe's championship teams. And like I said, just clutch moments. The best point guard that Kobe played with on a consistent basis, and just seemed to always be by his side. One of the best role players the Lakers have had in the last 20 years, and just kind of embodied what a support player should be. And like I said, was good for a very long time. So at number 2, I've got the incredibly talented now Chicago Bulls power forward Pau Gasol. So Pau Gasol was brought to the Lakers before the 2007-2008 season, put up about 19 points per game and like 10 rebounds with the Lakers, and I believe was able to bring home one championship? 2 titles. Never mind. 2 titles with the Lakers, and was able to make 3 finals. I think he was I firmly believe he is the clear second best player that Kobe ever played with, and definitely Kobe would have not been able to bring home those championships without Pau in the late 2000s. So at number 1, it's obvious, I've got Shaquille O'Neal. So Shaquille O'Neal, one of the best centers in NBA history, let alone best player that ever played with Kobe. Played with him from 1996 to 2004, 27 points per game. 7 All-Star appearances while he was with the Lakers, 3 NBA titles. Again, another guy that definitely would not have been to, or that if not for him, Kobe would not have been able to bring home 3 more NBA titles. Alright, so that concludes this video. Actually, this was a more fun topic to talk about than I thought it would be, reminiscing on some of the best players to ever play before they retire. While it's sad, it's fun to look back and see what they've accomplished and who was able to help them accomplish that. I firmly believe Kobe's one of the top 10 best ever. I think pretty much everyone would go along the same lines. I believe 5 titles, and 5 titles, multiple MVPs, I believe upward of 10 All-Star appearances. It's just not something that, walks along maybe more than once or twice a decade, and it's going to suck to see him go, but at the same time, again, it'll be great to watch him leave because the Lakers can finally move forward, and we can finally see Kobe move on and see what he's going to do next with his life after his career as a basketball player is done. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you've not seen my last 2 top 10 videos, my top, I believe, yesterday it was, like I said, the top 10 most hated players in sports. And then today it was, obviously today it was Kobe. And then the day before that, it was top 10 best Summer Olympic events, introducing really the first video I've done for the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio. So if you've not checked out those, they will be in the outro, and then I'll put the link to the entire top 10 playlist in the description below. So that's pretty much it. See ya.